I believe in my heart, of all the freedoms that I really, really love, is the freedom of choice. I think that's number one. Number two is that we had the revolution in 1700s to do one thing: keep us from having to have a tyrannical government edict. And that is the two freedoms. I think those are the most important that we have. And right now, between the PUC and your local electrical cooperatives and your municipal utility districts, both of these are being denied to you in writing. They are saying unequivocally, you don't have these rights, these liberties. Why? Because of the smart grids. Our current chairman of the PUC has testified before Congress twice that the smart meter installation is voluntary. Yet they do not allow you to choose whether or not you're going to get this. Mandate, it does not exist. The PUC says, well, we're only following the law. Representative Bonin wrote the law that they're talking about, and he has written a letter to the PUC saying, no, I didn't. That law said encourage 3 times. It did not say mandate, it did not say required, did not say must. Networks of the smart grid, a hand. Home area network. You get a smart meter on your house, you can buy a little $50 thing, plug it into the wall, and then from anywhere in the world you can turn on your air conditioner. Anything that's a smart Energy Star equipment, you can up and down. You can probably even turn on your local stove. The home area network is what's going to be on your home. It's going to be an antenna on it. Right next to it, somewhere in 60 homes or less, there will be the neighborhood area network. This is a super meter, and it's an additional meter. So one house is going to have 2 meters on it. The third one is the Metro Municipal Area Network. I have a video of our sustainability director telling us that that's where it ends, folks. Just goes into the city. And my confrontation to her said, as I understand it, the grid, called the mesh network, must have a WAN, wide area network. But we're not activating that. I said, but you lied to us. You lied to us. You said it was stopping at the metro. It would only go to the utility. That is the wide area requirement, and ERCOT has demanded on 3 occasions last summer to have access through the wide area network to turn off properties' power. If ERCOT can turn it off, can somebody in Brussels do it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
2 and 2 still add up to 4.
We are now entering the brave new world of smart meters. That means your electric meter will do so much more than just show how much electricity you use. The new smart meters are watching you. They sense all kinds of goings-on. They see when you turn something on or off. They see how many watts your electric toothbrush pulls. They send the record of that little event over wireless networks, bouncing through your neighbor's smart meters, all the way to the power company, where they keep record of all your electric consumption, volumes, and patterns every minute of every day, and store that data forever on computers that you'll never get to see. That data shows when you are at home, shows when you're sleeping, shows when you're on vacation, when you have visitors, when you use a lamp, a power tool, some extra computers, and if you look like you're running a business out of your home. It even senses when you bootleg energy off the grid. Your smart meter data shows a vivid profile of your personal living patterns and whether or not you were at home on the night of the murder. This is not electrical metering. This is personal surveillance. This is a search without a warrant every day. This is your personal private life going straight out through your electric meter to the power company, to the government, to the police, to the insurance company, to anyone who cuts a deal with your power company to look at your life under a microscope. Sorry, it's actually worse than that. People who don't cut a deal can get your information too by simply intercepting the wireless signal spewing from the side of your house. Yes, smart meters are radio transmitters. Here's how you tell. This one is a 1-watt radio station licensed by the FCC. On this all-news radio station, every detail of your electrical life is shooting off to some institutional data center somewhere. Already, the police in Ohio, Texas, British Columbia, and places I don't know about are regularly using smart meter data to pinpoint marijuana grow houses, enforce business licenses, and punish people for doing things in the privacy of their own homes that you were not supposed to do, but they wouldn't even know you were doing if they weren't spying on you. Your power company apparently gets to sell your personal life story to whomever it wants. Any unusual power consumption pattern is considered probable cause to raid you for growing marijuana or running a computer server without a business license. This is about as big brother as it gets. Those friendly men with their truckload of smart meters are going door to door with something a little different than a Christmas carol. My personal opinion is that you and I need to demand that these things be taken off our homes. It is not possible for your power company to claim they have the right to install a surveillance device on your house. Smart meters are no different from wiretapping devices. And in case you didn't know, wiretapping is illegal in all 50 of the states and the federal territories. If you let your power company put a smart meter on your house, you may as well walk around all day with a Facebook helmet webcam pointed at yourself. They have convinced themselves installing smart meters is lawful by some reaching to the moon jive called implied consent. If you say they can change your meter, they pretend you consent even when you don't know really what they're doing. Here's a tip. Tell them they can't change your meter. They had no trouble billing you with the old meter. If you send them a notice by certified mail that they may not install a smart meter or any other surveillance device on your house, their implied consent goes out the window. I would do that if I were you. In fact, I did that, and I'm not even you. You can see a copy of my letter in the drop-down next to this video. You can copy and paste that into your word processor. Make sure and change the info into your own info. The post office will give you the certified mail slip. Those friendly guys on the sidewalk told me that they plan to put a smart meter on every house in America. If they do that, it will no longer be America.
The letter that he's talking about in Texas does not apply. Why? Because the PUC has ruled that it doesn't apply. It's a mandate that they say has to go through other processes to stop it, but it doesn't hurt for you to write the letter in order for us to have a class action suit later. Yes.
Mike and I filed a notice of non-consent,
Right.
and we took it over to the city hall, and we tried to give it to the city secretary, and you would have thought the letter had boogers on it. They did not want to touch that letter. Oh no, we can't even read that. Oh no. And they would not touch that letter. So we ended up, we gave it to the city attorney, but nobody wanted to touch that letter. That's a legal document. I said, yes, it is.
That's why certified letters are good. We, as you can tell, this is a passion group. Justin's one of our founding members too. We are trying to get as many attack points as we can possibly create. We've got one of our members, John Twiddell, if you know him. He's doing his research now to try to get a class action for people who have smart meters and are already experiencing any of these proven problems. These are documented. We gave the PUC case after case after case, but the core to me is medical equipment is being caused to go off. People are getting atrial fibrillation from smart meters, headaches, bleeding eyeballs, bleeding eardrums. These are happening because they have what is called medically electrosensitivity. And the American Academy of Environmental Medicine has come out and said, do not put smart meters anywhere near a person that has them. Yes.
Well, if this, you said Senator Bonham or Representative Bonham was the author of the law, and he said that it does not say mandatory. Has the Attorney General's office come out with a a reading on this law?
No.
And that's where it needs to go, is
Well,
to
the
the,
PUC has determined that that's what it meant.
but they're not the Attorney
I
General,
know it, but the Attorney General hasn't taken the case on. We've tried that.
and he
Yes,
won't take it.
Doreen?
Well, I wanted to ask anybody if they saw on the news where the lady in Houston,
Oh, Thelma Turner.
Thelma stopped them from putting a meter
With a
on her
gun.
house. With her gun, and she told them that her constitution protected her against, her, what was her terminology? They could not invade her privacy. And that her constitution said that her
For
privacy.
sovereignty.
That's right. And he didn't put the meter on the house. I imagine the gun might.
She's been like 16 weeks, she's been without power.
Yeah, they shut it off, though.
Here's another thing. If anybody knows anything about wireless, there is no such thing as a secure wireless network. It is not possible. The norm is breached. You look at what's happened to all these major businesses that have lost millions of records to the hackers that have come through. Arizona has a group of hackers that on a regular basis, they announce that they're going to shut down a part of the power grid in Arizona, and they do it for 3 minutes. And APC, the Arizona Power System, comes out and says, oh no, we've got that corrected, and 2 minutes later another one goes in. They are constantly doing, there is no such thing as a secure wireless network, and that's what these are. Remote shutdowns are happening because the meter just happens to have a freak on it. I've got videos on my computer of people they watch the guy put the meter in. He does the tweaking on the wire thing, and then walks away, and the thing bursts into flame. Now, what happens to that lady? She calls and says, well, you just burned a big chunk of my wall. Well, we helped you. How did we help? Do we explain that to them? Well, we discovered that you had bad wiring. And they will not take liability for that. There's a lot of, Galveston just had a woman on their front page, the Galveston newspaper, caused 5 of her appliances to just blow up. The actual mechanism blew up. And they came out and said, no, that's not our fault. Well, it didn't happen until you put the meter in.
How do you know if you got a wireless?
Huh?
How do you know if you got one?
It's FCC license on it. They have to have, smart meters must have the FCC license number and the wattage.
I looked for that on mine, but they never come out and read mine.
Okay, well, it could be.
That's a semi-smart.
There's an automated meter.
I'm serious.
I know
Yes, it's an
Automated meter reading is where they drive by and can zap. Those are okay. Those don't
Yeah,
cause
How close do they have to get?
within the middle of the street.
Because they can't get within a quarter mile.
Well, they have to come within range where they estimate on you.
Yeah, a lot of ranches
Are you
have those
rural?
kind of meters.
Are you rural, Mr. Jordan? So am I. Those are you with Blue Bonnet?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have some frequency. I don't know how they get it either. I've got a pretty long driveway. I mean, they're calling them semi-smarts, and they're just radio.
They're just called AMRs.
I actually think they, I don't know if they can actually read it or if it sends.
I think they read it across the electric.
So is that the
lines.
same thing? Is that the same thing what you're talking about?
No, smart meters mean they don't have to even get in a truck.
So semi-smart is different.
They read mine
Semi-smart, well, it's
from
not
their
even
office.
semi-smart. It has to respond to the signal.
Yeah.
So,
10 miles away.
That's just like, he actually called it by the right name. Somebody else coined it semi-smart.
AMR.
Automated.
Automated meter reading.
Yeah, they continuously read.
We had to give them a code to our gate to get in. To
But
read the meter.
But it's
the
not
AR
smart.
meters
They
do the same
can
thing,
tell
don't they?
what you're using even if
Because they show your usage and all that, I
Hey.
mean, through Blue Bonnet.
Yeah.
But they're not
they-
digital.
Right.
They're not digital, they're analog.
They are
easily,
meters.
but they
The
still
rotary analog meters do not give
Yeah, they can.
a detail of what's being used electrically.
That's what I got.
Smart meter declares everything.
Yeah.
But an AMR has an attachment or it is built into the meter where they can click it and it sends a signal to them, says, I want what you got. And they send it back to them. Those are automatic readers, AMRs, not auto readers.
But John, there's a plan, you know, the Energy Star. Once they put a smart meter on your home, if you don't have Energy Star, they won't work. Now, it might not be immediate, but that is the plan, is that only Energy Star will work in your home. So
Yeah,
you'll have to switch everything that isn't.
And by
That's
2016,
number 3
everything
on
will be
the
installed.
issues of the smart meters, the required appliance exchange. You have to go out and get new appliances to work with these smart meters. And they can turn that on or off anytime they wish. Invasion of privacy, these are all documented, and the one that we concerned ourselves with before the PUC were all these things: migraines, nausea, vomiting, muscle spasms, heart palpitation, sleeplessness,
Hair loss.
hair loss. There are a number of documented medical things that we've tried to show the PUC